Hey guys, it is Wednesday here in West Virginia, and it is time for a Wagon Wednesday. I know we've been doing those quite a bit on a regular basis almost, but it's going to come to an end soon. I think I have enough wagons to do two more Wagon Wednesdays, one or two more Wagon Wednesdays after this one, and we'll be caught up with all the wagons that I purchased over the past couple of months. I don't know, I just got on this kick to start collecting wagons from General Motors and Mopar because the Kingswood Estates, they're cool. I got all of them except for the Lead Sled's counterpart, the black bracket racer one. And they're just like slow with releasing new models on them. So I decided to kind of broaden my collection a little bit, but stick with GM and Mopar wagons. That way it wouldn't go crazy, and try to stick with stuff from the 50s through the 70s. And speaking of that, today we have two Buick wagons from Autoworld, a 75 and a 74. Yeah, but they all look the same pretty much in the 70s. The 74 through the 76s that Autoworld make, they're pretty much the same thing. Maybe just a couple little differences in like marker light location and maybe the grill, something like that. But everything else is pretty much the same. And as I mentioned, we did the one when I was buying loose cars. This is the one right up here, and it has a part of the wheel lip gone on the wheel opening. That's a shame because I really like that car. That's like one of my second favorite color combo. I love black with a red interior, but the silver with red interior is really nice too. So I'd like to find another silver one to replace that one, because I'm kind of a little bit picky and OCD about having my cars perfect. So I want to replace that one eventually, but I don't want to pay an arm and leg for it. And then I wouldn't mind finding the all maroon one. That one's pretty cool. Today we're looking at the two with wood grain on the side. Actually, the wood grain simulation on these are not so good. It's just straight brown. I don't know what the deal is there. But, yeah, it doesn't look wood grain. It just looks like brown paint. But from far away, I mean, you can imagine that it was wood grain. That's like one of the details I think they lacked on. But these are before my time. When I was a kid, we rode around in like the box-style Caprice and Impala wagons. Well, they would have been Caprice wagons, but Impala's the same thing. So that's what I remember. That body style that was like from 77 to like 89 for the Caprice Classic. That's the kind of wagons my family had. And we had some Buicks too, but they were also based on that boxy kind of look, not these huge ones from the 70s. This wagon here is actually, we'll do the, I guess this is called cinnamon or something like that. Let's see. Yeah, cinnamon poly. And this is the oldest one. This is when they were still numbering them, where it's a really low number considering what they're making nowadays with production. The 5,720, and it also is one that still came with the collector box, which is cool. I miss those boxes. They're cool just to have, even if you don't put your cars in them. They're cool to have in case you do have to move or something. You have somewhere to pop your car into and not worry about damage. But anyways, yeah, the Buicks and stuff that my family had were the boxy ones from the 80s. Nothing like this. And what I was going to say about this car, this thing is huge. It's bigger than any other wagon that I have. If you are looking at the Kingswood Estates, and then that's the biggest thing from Autoworld up until this guy. And then you have like the Vista Cruiser from Greenlight, the Satellite wagons from Greenlight, and the Pontiac wagons from Greenlight. Still yet, the Buick is the biggest one. The only thing that's a little bit longer than the Buick is the 63 Cadillac Hearse from Hot Wheels, the one right there. That's the only wagon that I have that's longer than the Buick. So, yeah, these Buicks were huge. So anyways, let's get him off the card in just a minute and take a look at him, but we'll spin it around and see. This is the releases when the Silverados were first starting to appear back in 2019. So this was release 2, and it had the muscle trucks. It had the 73 Chevy Cheyenne Fleet side and step side. That's their first appearance. from Autoworld. Then you had your vintage muscle with a 62 Impala convertible, a 64 Ford Galaxy 500, and then the muscle wagons, the 74 Buick estate wagon, and sports cars, the 11 Corvette Z06. The estate wagon must have come out in like 17, I think 17 or 18. There's a couple other releases before this one. One that's pretty nice looking, but I'll probably never get it because of the price on it, is the light blue poly with the wood grain. Very pretty car. As I said, after these two, though, I'm going after the solid colors. I want to get another silver one, and I'd like to get the maroon one. They have a light green one that's almost like pea green. I'm not much into that one. It is one solid color, though, but it's just, I don't know, I hate that color. This color, however, is very nice. The cinnamon poly. If they would have had this, like, all solid, one color, it would have been great. It almost looks like it from a distance at an angle. It's hard to see the brown. But the thing that should highlight the difference is the metallic in the cinnamon. It's got a lot of metallic metal flake in it. And the brown, as I said, it's supposed to be wood grain, but it's just flat brown. But that could have been how these cars were back then. I don't remember. To be honest with you. I know the Kingswood Estate, though, some of them should have been wood grain and it just painted brown. There wasn't a very good simulation of the wood grain there. The hoods on these wagons, the Buick wagon opens, but every one I've ever had, even the ones I've had before these guys, when I was living in the Philippines, the hood never opened any further than that. I think it's because it bottoms out against the fender and there's nowhere else for it to go. That's about as high as you're getting them. Because this is a really thick hood. It's, as you can see, it's not flat with the fender. It kind of goes up. Kind of doing that look of like the Buicks back in the 50s and such things like that with the big bulged hoods and such. I guess that was what they were trying to mimic. And as you can see, nice detail on the grill, headlights, and the wagon plate just says relax. And I think that was the slogan from the state. I remember somebody telling me that, but I cannot recall. I don't know if it's Massachusetts or not. I can't read plates. But anyways, let's just see if we can zoom in just a hair. Yeah, I still can't make it out. Oh well. Anyways, we'll move along to the next wagon. But this thing looks good. Nice detail on the tail lights and such. At first, when I was looking at these, they looked a little too narrow. But looking at all my other wagons, they're the same width. I guess it's just because this thing's so long, it makes it look narrower than it really is. So the number 2 is this guy here. This is a much later release. Probably one of the last ones released to date. And oh, I forgot to read the premium facts. Give me a second, guys. Sorry about that. I always read these premium facts. So like the 1975 and 1976 model years, 1974 also had a clamshell tailgate. To open the rear, electric motors receded the rear glass upward into the roof area, while the rear gate slid downward into the underbody. Huh, that's kind of wild. And then, never knew that. Now, going to the new one with their premium fix, so I don't forget again, at 238.1 inches, the 1975 and 1976 Buick Estate wagons were the longest station wagons ever built. Yeah, that's exactly what I see with my Diecast. They're all true to scale, they claim, so they did well. The Buick is the longest one, except for the 63 Cadillac hearse. So commonly called the clamshell tailgate today, back in 1975, it was marketed as the glide away tailgate. That's pretty cool. I did not know that they did that. I wish Green Light would have made the tailgate open, but it probably would have been way too much work to make it open accurately. That's the one thing I do like about the green, Autoworld should have done that with the wagon. That's the one thing I do like about Green Light. They have the opening tailgates on their wagons, and sometimes they don't work as well as they should, but most of the time they're okay. The Pontiac one has the hatchback looking tailgate that lifts up with the rear window. They're hinged at the roof, so that's kind of cool. So this is a 2020 release, so it's not much later. So 2019 was our last year for numbered cars with boxes, because this is 2020 and this is release 2. So yeah, 2020 marked the end of the boxes and the end of the quantity of production. Now, I don't know if it was the production quantity on all of them. Maybe a few still had production numbers, but they all lost the boxes. But as you can see, it says premium facts, and this don't even say, oh no, it does have a, I'm sorry guys, I was looking at the wrong area, because down here, you can see that's where they had the limited edition, and right above the premium facts. So these were still numbered. Okay, never mind. That was my fault. Limited edition, one of 6,800 on the green one. And the, boxes were gone in 2020, so probably in 2021 is when we lost the production numbers, because I know it's been a while since they put production numbers on them. So once again, this is release 2 of 2020, and we had Muscle Trucks 2019 Silverado High Country, a 77 Chevy Cheyenne C10 Fleetside, a 2018 Jeep Wrangler Unlimited Sahara in the Sport Utility Series. Muscle Wagons was a 75 Buick Estate Wagon. Modern Muscle Series had a 2011 Chevy Camaro RS SS, and Vintage Muscle is a 66 Chevy Chevelle SS 396. And this car here is a, I forgot I had to tape this one back on. When I got it, the seller, they refunded me a little money, so I'm not going to say their name here, but they did send this in an envelope, a regular vanilla colored yellow, vanilla, whatever you want to call it, envelope, and the card was bent to crap. And when I complained about it, they're like, you're the first person that's ever complained about the way we package our cars. I'm sure others probably have complained if they're true collectors like me. Why did you send it in an envelope? Just maybe I was the first one that had something damaged. But I kind of doubt it, because I find it hard to believe that they sent hundreds of cars through the mail in envelopes without any being damaged up until this point. Luckily, the car survived, though. No damage. So this is a metallic green. I forget what it was called. I didn't even read the color swatch. It is Verda Mist Poly. It's either Verda or Verde Mist Poly. Now, once again, so one is a 74 and one was a 75. So looking at the grills, a little bit different. And the placement of the Buick, a little different. Yeah, even the hood is a little bit shorter on the front than what the 74 was. And this one just says, it says MG 1974. And then, once again, the hood on this one, it is not any better than the hood on the other one. Same thing, only opens to that certain point, because I think it bottoms out back here on the cowl area, on the fender, on the door or fender, or the windshield or cowl. So they do not go any further than that. And that's kind of a shame, because Autoworld does a spectacular job on engine detail for a car that's only $5 at Walmart. I know they run upwards of 10 at the hobby shops and stuff, but once again, for the detail, they're worth it. The only thing they're lacking on with a lot of their cars, but they're starting to improve it, is the lack of side mirrors. But they're starting to fix that on a lot of their newer releases if they can. So, guys, that is it for our Wagon Wednesday. We will be back again on Friday for a Free It Friday. And by then, I should have another auto hauler set with some square body dualies in it to crack open for you guys, and maybe something else. We'll see what happens with Walmart this week, and any other things that come in. If it's something exciting before Friday, I'll crack it open, but it's only 2 days away. So probably we'll see you again on Friday. If you have not subscribed, please remember to do so. Turn on your notification bell so you can find out whenever we release a new video, and also give us a thumbs up. It really helps us move up in the algorithm search engine. It's hard to believe, but just thumbs up, likes really alter the algorithm. So if you can give me a thumbs up, I greatly appreciate it. Thanks for watching.